This match had everything. Two tactical masterminds going head-to-head, both teams evolving their systems, and 90 minutes of pure chess played at breakneck speed. One moment of set-piece brilliance, one crucial error, and suddenly all the tactical battles meant nothing. But here's what makes this fascinating. We witnessed two managers at their tactical best. Arteta's adaptive pressing met Amorim's revolutionary build-up. Arsenal's defensive resilience crashed into United's creative evolution, both teams pushing each other to their tactical limits. This opening day encounter was a masterclass in modern football tactics. To 60 pounds, million signings making their debuts, pressing structures changing mid-game, and tactical innovations being tested in real time. Let's break down what actually happened at Old Trafford. Right from kickoff, this wasn't just a football match. It was a tactical chess game between two managers who knew exactly what they were doing. And the first move belonged to Mikel Arteta. Arsenal set up in a 4-2-2-2 pressing structure with one clear objective: suffocate United through the middle. Martinelli and Saka positioned high and wide, pressing United's center backs from outside to in, forcing everything through Casemiro, exactly where Arsenal wanted it. The logic was brilliant. With Casemiro's struggles under pressure well documented, why not make him the focal point of every United attack? Rice and Zubimendi sat deeper, ready to pounce on any loose balls. But Rúben Amorim had seen this coming. United's solution: push De Ligt higher into midfield, creating numerical superiority in the center and unlocking Bruno Fernandes to drift wider, giving their center backs better passing angles. Suddenly, United had answers. Where Arsenal expected a 2v2 in midfield, they were facing a 5v4 before Mount even dropped deep. It was working, until Arteta made his masterstroke. 15 minutes in, Arteta switched it up. Same shape, different personnel. Rice pushed higher to press. Gyökeres took Martinelli's wide pressing role, allowing Martinelli to stay deeper as a traditional wide midfielder. Now when United escaped the press, it was Calafiori, not the center backs, who had to deal with the wide threats. Arsenal had adapted on the fly, and United's early tactical advantage was neutralized. The opening phase was set, two managers already thinking 3 moves ahead. But here's what made this performance so significant. Amorim has completely transformed how United play in possession. Yesterday, at the slightest invitation, both Luke Shaw and Lenny Yoro were bombing forward, either into fullback positions or drifting into the half spaces, leaving De Ligt to anchor a back two. This created something we rarely saw last season: genuine numerical advantages in the final third. With Dorgu and De Ligt already advanced as wingbacks, United were suddenly creating 3v2 and 4v3 situations all over the pitch. The combination play was flowing, Mount dropping deep to collect, switching to Mbeumo on the right, Cunha drifting wide to create space for overlapping runs. This wasn't the static United we'd grown accustomed to. Even the average positions tell the story. Shaw and Yoro were practically playing as auxiliary midfielders, constantly looking to join attacks and create overloads. And it was working. Cunha's burst from his own half, cutting through Arsenal bodies. Mbeumo's header forcing Raya into action. United were creating the kind of flowing moves that seemed impossible just months ago. This wasn't just evolution, it was revolution. Amorim had taken United's defensive structure and turned it into an attacking weapon. The question was, could they make it count? Here's what made United's tactical approach so effective. They didn't just neutralize Arsenal's build-up, they completely silenced their attacking force. Saka, Martinelli, and new signing Gyökeres were reduced to passengers for large stretches of this match. United's plan was brilliant in its simplicity: force Arsenal wide, then immediately get an aggressive fullback to press while the rest of the team shifted into a compact back four. No space, no time, no service. Look at Saka here, normally Arsenal's most dangerous weapon, but Dorgu is pressing aggressively, forcing him backwards. When Arsenal's best creator can't find space, the entire attack suffers. Martinelli was having the same problems on the left. Every time he received the ball, United had already anticipated the pass, closing down angles before Arsenal could even think about attacking. And Gyökeres, Arsenal's big summer signing, was practically invisible. With United forcing everything wide and Arsenal struggling to get the ball centrally, the Swedish striker was starved of service. The numbers tell the story. Arsenal's front three had just a handful of meaningful touches in the final third during the first hour. United had turned Arsenal's feared attack into a collection of frustrated individuals. 13 minutes in, and United's tactical master plan was working perfectly. Arsenal looked rattled, Cunha was causing havoc, and Old Trafford was starting to believe. Then came the moment that flipped everything upside down. Rice's delivery swings in beautifully. A devilish and swinging corner that creates chaos in the 6-yard box. Bodies everywhere, players jostling for position, and then disaster. Altay Bayındır, who had been excellent with his distribution all game, gets his positioning completely wrong. He flaps at the ball, making no meaningful contact whatsoever. The ball drops perfectly for Riccardo Calafiori, unmarked right under the crossbar. The Italian defender can't miss from there. A simple nod into an empty net. This was Arsenal's 31st Premier League goal from a corner since the start of the 2023-24 season, 11 more than any other team. They've turned set pieces into an art form. One moment of brilliance from a dead ball situation, one goalkeeping error, and suddenly all of United's tactical dominance meant nothing. The game had completely changed character. United had been controlling everything: the press, the build-up, the individual battles. But football is ruthless, and Arsenal had just reminded everyone why they're title contenders with one perfectly executed set piece. But there was one player who turned this tactical battle on its head, and his name was Matheus Cunha. What he did to Arsenal's midfield was like poking a hornet's nest, and once you get stung, you avoid going near it again. Cunha was positioning himself perfectly in the space between Arsenal's pressing forwards and their deeper midfielders. Too high for Rice and Zubimendi to track. Too deep for the front three to worry about. And once he got the ball in these pockets, he was absolutely unstoppable. Look at this run, picking up possession between the lines and driving straight at Arsenal's backline at full speed. This is every defender's nightmare. Cunha was acting as the linchpin between United's midfield and attack, turning defense into attack in the blink of an eye. Arsenal simply couldn't cope with his dribbling and ball-carrying ability. Every time United won the ball back, there was Cunha, available, dangerous, ready to turn half chances into genuine threats. Arsenal's midfield started backing off, giving him even more space to operate. You could see it in Arsenal's body language. They were getting frustrated, cautious, second-guessing themselves. The hornet's nest effect was working perfectly. United had the tactical plan, the individual brilliance, and Arsenal looking rattled. Everything was falling into place for what should have been a commanding victory. And just like that, the entire complexion of the match changed. Arsenal had their goal, and now they could do what they do best: make football absolutely miserable for everyone else. With a lead to protect, Arsenal dropped into their defensive shell. The same players who had been struggling under United's press were now sitting deep, compact, and virtually impenetrable. United kept creating chances. Cunha's bursting runs, Mbeumo's dangerous crosses, Mount's clever movement between the lines. But Arsenal's defensive structure held firm, with Raya pulling off crucial saves when needed. Amorim threw everything at it. Ahmad came on to double-team Maguire. Sesko was introduced as a focal point. Ahmad tried to add pace and directness, but sometimes football just doesn't care about tactical superiority. The final 20 minutes were pure torture for United fans. Wave after wave of attacks, but Arsenal defended with the kind of discipline that wins titles. Every block, every clearance, every tactical foul perfectly timed. United dominated possession, created more chances, forced more saves, and controlled more phases of play. On any other day, they win this match 3-1, but football isn't played on spreadsheets. When that final whistle blew, United had delivered their best performance in months and somehow walked away with nothing. Arsenal had shown exactly why they're title contenders: clinical when it matters, ruthless in defense, and masters of game management. This was a tactical masterclass from both managers, decided by the finest of margins. Sometimes that's just football. If this breakdown opened your eyes to the tactical battle that unfolded at Old Trafford, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because we're just getting started with the 2025-26 season.